My tomatoes used to wilt by noon every July. Then I stuck a $1.50 piece of clay in the pot and left for a week. Came home. Garden's still alive. The whole backyard didn't turn into an oven without me babysitting a hose. That little clay steak is number 1 today, and we're saving it for last, because the why is the best part. Hey, I'm Maggie. Zone 7, no affiliates, just me walking the Dollar Tree garden aisle in the worst week of June heat. I grabbed 7 finds. The whole haul came in under $10, and 3 of them I'm telling you to flat out skip. Every product link is pinned in the description. I walked the aisle Saturday, scanned the SKUs, double-checked the prices on the way out. Here's the honest part. Nobody at the garden center will tell you. Keeping a garden alive in a heat wave isn't about money. It's 3 things. Stop the water leaving, block the sun, and let the plant drink on its own schedule, not yours. Quick one before we start. If a garden center ever sold you a $40 drought system, drop the price in the comments. I want to see how badly we're all getting hosed, okay? Lever 1. Stop losing the water you already poured in. First find. A jumbo mesh laundry bag, $1.25. Yeah, the kind you'd toss your delicates in. I stretch it over a couple of hoops above the tomato bed. Instant poor man's shade screen for the worst of the afternoon. Here's why it works. Shade netting over a bed drops the air temperature a couple degrees and cuts how hard the sun hits. Researchers reviewing field trials measured screens knocking air temp down 2 to 2.5 degrees and cutting solar radiation 15 to nearly 40%. Less direct sun means the leaves lose less water. Same physics as the pricey agricultural shade cloth, just thinner. One honest note. A loose laundry bag mesh is a soft filter on the peak heat, not full 30% shade cloth. But for $1.25 versus $30 for a real shade panel, it buys my tomatoes the afternoon. I'll take it. Find 2. Decorative black river rocks, $1.75 for a 2-pound bag at the front of the store. Not for the plant, for the dirt, I layer them right on top of the soil in my containers. A stone mulch. Bare soil is an open door. Sun and wind pull the moisture straight out of it all day long. A layer on top breaks that contact. The water stays down where the roots are instead of steaming off the surface. In a lab study, straw mulch cuts soil evaporation by up to 32% versus bare ground. Stones do the same job, harder surface. Honest heads up though, dark stone can actually heat up in full sun, so I keep the rock mulch on my shade-side pots. For the bakers in the front row, a light or organic mulch stays cooler. Rocks are for looks plus a moisture lock, not cool roots. Find 3. A compressed Coco Coir brick. Found mine for about $4.40 a brick in a 5-pack. This thing's the size of a bar of soap. You drop it in a bucket of water and it swells into a pile of fluffy soil. 1 brick makes roughly 9-10 liters of light potting mix. I work it into my container soil before the season gets brutal. Here's the trick. Coir holds something like 9 to 10 times its own weight in water, but it stays airy. So the soil grips moisture through a heat wave without going to mush and cooking the roots. Wet but breathing. That's a different lever than mulch. Mulch stops water leaving the top. Coir holds water down in the mix itself. Now, 3 things at the Dollar Tree I want you to walk right past this summer. Skip number 1. Those cute little plastic watering cans. They look the part. They pour sideways and dump half the water on the patio, not the pot. In a heat wave, you need water at the roots, not a puddle on the concrete evaporating in 10 minutes. Skip them. Skip number 2. The flimsy, thin-wall plastic pots. No drainage holes. Thin black plastic, full sun. That's a slow cooker for roots. The plastic bakes, the water sits, the roots stew. I've killed a pepper that way once. If you grab a cheap pot, drill drainage holes and keep it out of dead-on afternoon sun, otherwise walk past. Quick gut check while we're here. Like the video, if any of this made you walk to your shed to see what you've already got. Back to the good stuff. Find 4. A plastic drip watering spike. Mine ran about $4.80 for a 2-pack. This is the little brother of the find we're ending on. You fill a 20-ounce bottle, screw the spike on, jam it in the soil. Water drips straight down to the roots instead of evaporating off the top. a poor man's drip line, one plant at a time. Subsurface watering like this loses almost nothing to the air because the water goes in below the surface where the sun can't grab it. It's plastic, so it won't self-regulate like the clay one coming up. It just drips till the bottle's empty. But it buys you days. Perfect for the pot by the back door you keep forgetting. Fill it Monday, glance at it Friday. Find 5. A fine mist hand pump plant Mr. Buck 50, garden aisle, the squeeze pump kind, not a hose attachment. Early morning before the heat lands, I give the leaves a light misting. And no, this isn't watering, it's cooling. When water evaporates off a leaf, it carries the heat away with it. Same reason you feel cold stepping out of a pool. Researchers modeling leaf temperature found that evaporative cooling is what actually protects an overheating leaf in a sun flash. The leaf can't shed that heat on its own. The evaporating water does it. For a wilting plant at noon, that's the rescue. Big honest catch though. Misting only cools while the water's still on the leaf. At 95 degrees, that leaf is dry in 10-20 minutes. So this is a quick reset on the peak, not a pop it and walk away all day fix. Don't let anyone sell you that. I keep the mister by the door and hit the saddest looking plant on my way past at lunch. That's it, buck 50. Skip number 3. The cute garden aisle seed packets for a summer sow. They're a germination trap in this heat. Most cool season seeds just won't sprout in baking July soil. They'll rot before they pop. The packet won't warn you. Save your buck and a quarter. Sow those in fall when the soil cools in a heat wave. You keep what's alive alive. You don't start over. Find 6. A clear bell plant cloche, buck 50. A little see-through dome you set over a plant. This one's narrow, but it earns its spot. When I move a seedling into the bed mid-summer, the dome goes over it for the first week. A fresh transplant in a heat wave is in shock. New roots, full sun, no water buffer. The dome holds a little humidity around it. Stable moisture while the roots grab hold. Instead of crisping on day 1, I crack it open at noon so I don't cook it. Buck 50 to not lose a transplant I babied from seed? That's a trade I'll make every time. Quick honesty, stop a few of these. The mister, the cloche, the terracotta one coming up, are seasonal garden stock. Online they were showing out of stock when I checked. They're not discontinued. It's the in-store summer garden shelf, so check the aisle, not the website. Alright, we've stopped the water leaving, blocked the sun, cooled the leaf. There's one lever left, and it's the big one. Letting the plant drink entirely on its own, while you're literally not home. This is number 1. The buck 50 find I trust the most. Find 7. A terracotta watering stake, from the garden aisle, buck 50, unglazed clay spike with a goofy little decorative top. You push it into the pot, then you take a full bottle of water, flip it upside down and seat it on top. That's the whole rig. And then you walk away, for days. This is the one I stuck in the pot before I left for a week and came home to a living garden. Now here's the magic nobody tells you. This isn't a timer, it isn't a pump. It's older than both. It's an Olla. Unglazed clay is porous. Water seeps slowly right through the wall of the stake into the soil around the roots. Underground, no evaporation. The University of Arizona Extension lays it out. Porous clay lets water seep through and fill the soil right where the roots can drink. But here's the part that floored me. The clay only lets go of water when the soil around it gets thirsty. Dry dirt pulls harder, wet dirt stops it, so the plant basically waters itself. You're not the one deciding how much. That's soil moisture tension. Water moves from where there's more to where there's less, all on its own. The plant always gets the right amount. A lab actually measured it. The clay leaks more on hot, dry days and slows right down when it's cool and wet. It reads the weather. No pump, no timer, no me standing there guessing. The dirt and the clay sort it out between themselves, and it sips. A clay Olla saves roughly 60 to 70% of your water versus a watering can, and waters about as well as drip irrigation. Now the contrast. The garden center sells you a set of self-watering glass globes for around $15 to do this. But a globe just dumps water by gravity till it's empty. It doesn't read the soil, the clay does. So your buck 50 stake isn't the cheap version of the $15 globe. By the mechanism, it's the better one. My neighbor pays a kid $50 a week to water her pots when she travels. I push in a $1.50 piece of clay and flip a bottle. She watched me do it over the fence, went to the Dollar Tree the next morning, and now her tomatoes outlive her vacations too. One honest line so I don't oversell it. It holds for a few days, sometimes up to a week, depends on the heat, the plant, the sun. And keep the bottle low, not towering. Too much pressure up top and you override the self-regulating. It just pushes water out, low and slow. Save this video, you'll thank me Saturday when you're staring at a wilting pot wondering what to grab. So there's the cart. 7 finds, the whole heatwave kit, every dollar of it under 10 at the Dollar Tree shelf. If you only grab one thing, grab number 1. The terracotta steak. It's the one that lets you leave. $1.50 doing the same self-watering job as a $15 globe set, and better, while a neighbor pays $50 a week for it. Everything else is nice to have. The mulch and the mister buy you afternoons. The clay buys you a whole week away. Full shopping lists in the description. Every link verified Saturday morning. Everyone clicks straight to the find. Next time I'm walking the Dollar Tree aisle for the fall garden, the stuff that actually lives once the heat finally breaks. The clay was doing all the work the whole time I thought I had to. Turns out the smartest thing in my garden cost $1.50. Smart dollars, real gardens, verified receipts. Drop me a comment. What aisle should I walk next? I read every single one.